Hello everyone and welcome to the next Let's Play. Welcome to Let's Play Touhouvania, which is a freeware game for the PC. Now, the game itself is actually a crossover in terms of gameplay. It crosses over the characters and storyline of a game series of a series called Touhou, which is a series of bullet hells, which a bullet hell is pretty much when there's thousands of instant kill bullets on screen. Well, not thousands, but you get the point. And it only brings over the characters while somewhat changing the art style to match the gameplay that it's going for, which is old school Castlevania, and I think it does it pretty well. Now, the reason I am actually playing this game is because I want to play through again, and I decided why not record it. And it went pretty well, actually, as far as I can tell so far. Because I've only played through the first two parts worth of levels. Now, this is probably more going to be like filler Let's Play while I can think of something else to do at the time. Because I have a lot recorded right now, but I still have to finish certain Let's Play recordings before I even upload that game. Because by this time you guys have probably already seen at least Metroid Zero Mission, maybe not Fusion. Now, you might notice that the video might look a bit different in terms of quality. That's because I decided to actually keep the dimensions of this a bit different just to try it out for YouTube. That's really the only reason I did that. And now we actually get to play the game. Now, there's Game Starter and Extra Starter. What Extra Start does is that it sends you into pretty much the same level layouts, but where the enemies do a heck of a lot more damage, and you either do the exact same amount or you do less. Now, in terms of the game's plot, it somewhat follows the series from what I've heard, from what I've played. You play as Reimu, who is a shrine maiden, and you have to stop Romelia, who is a vampire, often seen as a childish vampire at that. And actually, going back to the art style thing, you might, right now, if I remember to put it in, which I probably won't, see a picture of the original Reimu, so you can see what the art style was originally like. And since I'm playing the English fan translation, there was an extra feature added. I'm not sure if this was in the original one or not, where you can change your lives, because you would normally start with only 3 lives, but since I know I'm going to be dying in this game a lot, I'll just be editing out a majority of them. I decided to keep it at 19, which is what I see a lot of people doing. And I'm playing on easy difficulty because all that it changes is the amount of damage I take. And hard mode, I've done that once, and I do not feel like doing that. And normal mode is even then it's a bit too intense, because that would have taken like 6 parts for me to get, like, not even 6, maybe 10, 15 parts to get through. I want to get this and a couple other filler Let's Plays I'm just doing so I can have something to upload while I record other stuff. So yeah, the only thing that this game really differs from the original Castlevania in is that enemies drop hearts, or in this case souls, which are pretty much your ammunition, at every time you kill an enemy. And that's Reimu, for some reason, can fly. I don't know why, but she can. Flying is fairly limited. It allows you to go through areas, sure, but when you're facing a direction, you're going to be facing that direction the entire time. So no matter what, you can't attack behind you. You can actually attack while flying, but it'll just send out those little souls. Pods often have food, which will restore your health and such, and by whipping this enough times, I don't know how I found this out, but you get a 1-up. Anyway, in this area, this is actually where the first boss is, but for some reason, if you can fly over a majority of this area, you won't be able to exit it, but once you land, you'll be actually teleported back if you go far enough to face the boss fight against Cerno here, who is an ice fairy, I believe. I'm not sure from I think a majority of the enemies and characters in this are based off mythology in Japan. I wouldn't know much. Cerno, for some reason, is an idiot, and as you might be seeing above some of their heads every now and then on dialogue, they're little, like that, little emoticons, I guess you could say. And I have to say, they feel incredibly lazy. Most games that have this kind of character portrait stuff for dialogue would usually have different portraits to display the emotions, but I guess since this is a fan game, that's probably why. It's a fan game, so they kind of got lazy. And now it's time for the first boss fight against Cerno. Now, what I did right there was I used Marissa. Pretty much, you can partner attack, which costs 10 souls to use. There are actually two partners, one of which I just got, and the next we're about to get, who is Cerno. The way you change your partner attack is that you press down the partner attack button. You won't use the attack immediately, but it'll just allow you to switch it. And if you're able to pause the game and read the dialogue, that's probably what you should do. Actually, if you want to read it, you'll see that she's pretty much a typical idiot. Yeah, there's only gonna be maybe one instance in which I don't just speed through the text. I'm at least leaving it on screen long enough for you guys to pause it if you want to read it, but a majority of you guys probably came here because you want to see how the game plays. And I probably talked a bit fast there, didn't I? But anyway, the thing I love most about this game, besides its gameplay, is its soundtrack. Touhou games are just like Castlevania games in the fact that no matter how terrible the game, it'll almost always have a kick-ass soundtrack. But a couple of songs in this game actually feel like rip-offs. In fact, I think they're supposed to be tributes, at least. Rip-offs, at least not... well, more like tributes, I guess you could say, to songs in the Castlevania series, one of which we'll be seeing next stage, unless these first two stage themes are tributes, in which case I wouldn't know. Now, as far as I know, Reimu herself is the protagonist of all Touhou games. I wouldn't know, I've only played 6 through 9. But if she's not the main character, she's definitely at least one of the most popular characters. And the amount of souls, or ammunition I guess I should just call them, that an enemy drops upon defeat is different depending on each enemy. Frogs, any frog drops 3, the crows or ravens drop 1, and mermen for some reason, or in this game, drop 6. I'm not sure why they do, but they do. And I have no idea what that thing is supposed to be. What is that, seriously? Is that Shine Sprite from Mario Sunshine? All I know is that that the yellow ones are immortal, blue ones aren't. Now I have to ask, Reimu is supposed to be supposedly the Belmont of this game. What the heck is she using as a whip? Because I don't think it actually is a whip. It looks like more like a chain or something. Does that bird have a human skull? Anyway, it's time for the next boss fight if I would move forward. Thank you. And by the way, those question marks aren't my computer failing. Those are intentional. Her name is Hong Mei Ling, or Mei Ling is what she's more commonly called. And I guess for some reason they make her name they say her name is too complicated, so they have to fix it, and that's why it's in question marks. I don't know why they did that in English. I'm guessing it's supposed to be some sort of in-joke in Japan or something. I really wouldn't know. Anyway, Mei Ling here has the first technically what I count as a bullet hell attack, which is that, but even then it's easily avoidable. In fact, I think she does the exact same attack in Touhou 6. So yeah, second boss defeated, and she somehow fixes her name. This game does tend to break the fourth wall every now and then. Then again, a little fourth wall breaking isn't a bad thing. I love when games do that. And now the second stage. And I'm going to be silent here because the next stage actually has the first Castlevania tribute, so I'm going to be silent for that. So yeah, that I'm not sure what the exact same name of this track is, but it's a tribute to the Castlevania song "Divine Bloodlines" that, as far as I know, debuted in Castlevania Rondo of Blood. Well, as far as I can tell, because I haven't played Rondo of Blood in a while, it's only the beginning that's a tribute, but it definitely is. Because the beginning of this track, which was literally at the beginning of the stage, right after I exited the door, is the exact same as, well, at least not the exact same, at least close to the Rondo of Blood song. And this is, and like Castlevania 1, the spikes are instant kill. And unlike Castlevania 1, though, I will be dying to these quite a bit right now. I didn't feel like editing these out because I wasn't that far in the room, because if you die in a room, you have to start that entire room over. But they don't really use spikes that often, which is why I say this game is easy. I mean, if they use the flying mechanic as something, like being able to go through, like, either hidden pathways or optional or even mandatory pathways that were just rooms covered in spikes, that would be kind of cool, but they don't take advantage of that. Now, as you can see, the enemies tend to get a bit weird in this game, like we're killing demonic maids for some reason. But the maids, as far as I can tell, are, in terms of their attacks, supposed to be enemies. That was cheap. Enemies from Castlevania, the spearmen, axe knights, and a certain other kind of enemy I can't remember the name of. That might just be my memory failing, though. Now, skeletons, they're pretty much the mooks of this game. If you die to one of them here in the castle, just... why? Just put down the controller. Just put it down. But anyway, one thing that is suspicious to people who may have played this game before, and was definitely suspicious to me, is that this game in Japan is called Kamajo Densetsu Scarlet Symphony. And that's a direct tribute to Castlevania, by the way, Akamajo Densetsu and such. But that Kamajo Densetsu, as far as I know, is... I don't actually know what it means, but as far as I know, that's the name of the castle in Japan. And the name of this castle is the Scarlet Devil Castle. The main enemy headquarters in the Touhou series is the Scarlet Devil Mansion, or Manor, which means that if this is a castle, it's a different place. It actually is a different place. So, we'll be finding out why that this place is suddenly here later on, and why the Scarlet Mist, which is the main reason Reimu usually goes out against Romalia, who is the final boss and the Dracula in this game, did all this. Anyway, time for the third boss, who is the Death, or Grim Reaper of this game. Because she's the direct servant of Romalia. And Sakuya here is actually the main character of the sequel to this game, Touhouvania 2. I forget if it has a subtitle. Now, as you might remember, Death was usually one of the last bosses in Castlevania games, but in this they make her the second, but she's also the second to last. And this is when I finally considered the game turning into a bullet hell of sorts. But her second form later on is a lot worse. I made it, trust me, I'm just good at this game. I kind of made it look easy even if I'm playing on easy mode. Anyway, as Sakuya for some reason teleports instead of finishing us off, I'm gonna have to end this off. If you like this video, rate, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and as Stage 3 ends, I will see you guys next time. See you then!